What is going on, comic book community? Welcome to another episode of Josh's Comics. Today we are finally going to do Volume 2 of Brian Michael Bendis' Daredevil. Extremely happy to review his second part of his amazing run on Daredevil, so stay tuned for this next episode of Josh's Comics to hear about this great book. Alright guys, so yeah, let's jump into it. Finally, Daredevil Volume 2 by Bendis. Extremely happy to review this. Probably, like I said about his Volume 1, Frank Miller's run, of course, is my favorite out of the series, and then you go Brian's run. On the back, you can see, I like the older Marvel Omnis, because they show the covers for all the issues. And this is collecting Daredevil, issue number 161 through 81, What If Karen Page Had Lived, and Ultimate Marvel Team Up, issue number 6 through 8. Just highly recommend this book. It is pretty incredible. Love the wraparound cover with Black Widow and Daredevil. So I'm going to quickly just read inside the flap here, just to give you guys, an idea of what's happening. In The Widow, Daredevil unites with an old crime-fighting partner in Secret Trust Flame Black Widow, but the carefree days of fighting and supervillains are over. The stakes have changed for both of them, with an assassin tracking Natasha's every move and Daredevil's secret identity compromised. Their relationship will be challenged like never before. And that's where it kicks off of. And you get some really good entertainment with Daredevil and Black Widow. For those of you who don't know and aren't too familiar with the Marvel history on the comic side, Daredevil and Natasha were a thing. They were a couple. Something that obviously not in the MCU. Could be potentially in the future. We could see maybe Matt meeting Yvonne, Black Widow's sister, who I'm kind of speculating that her and Winter Soldier Bucky are going to become a thing in Thunderbolts, because Bucky and also Black Widow have a serious relationship in the comics. So yeah, it's kind of interesting where it goes from there. And Black Widow and Daredevil as a couple definitely make it very interesting, and it makes sense, but it plays very well. But at a certain point, Matt ends up getting married in this run, if I'm not mistaken, to another woman who's actually blind. Elektra comes back into play, and at one point Matt's like, he's at all three of his love interests, and it's very entertaining. Daredevil and Elektra and Black Widow at one point towards the end, I don't want to spoil it, but towards the end they kind of like team up to save Matt, and it's like some great stuff. It really is. Anyway, so let's jump into some of the art. This continues where Volume 1 left off of. And to me, the art and the stories, and I think that's all of the writers right there. 40th anniversary special artists. To me, the art and the story just gets better and better. There's Matt. I really love seeing Matt also, like, not just as Daredevil, but in the courtroom. You get to find, I would say Charles Soule run might be more heavier into the Matt Murdock, Daredevil, lawyer. But I love seeing Matt balance his life, and I love seeing him do his work in the courtroom. And it's very important, and I'm hoping, with Daredevil Born Again, which I believe is the working title now for the Daredevil show on in Disney, I'm hoping that we get to see, I want to see him in the suit kicking ass, but I also want to see him, show why he's a great lawyer and who he is. Just gonna skip around a little bit. There you go. You got Black Widow right there, looking good as always. Again, she's being, you know, hunted down. There you go. I think this is the special, the 40th anniversary special. Nice Spider-Man shot right there, though. Great Spider-Man and Daredevil cover or shot. Gonna jump around. Again, Matt being a good lawyer. Quite a bit in here of that. Let's see. So yeah, this jumps around definitely from time to time. Oh, actually, this right here. So there's a story about a superhero who. He was a superhero. He kind of retired. There was a robbing incident. He tried to stop it, and he ended up, I believe, he got framed for killing a cop, but he really didn't. So that's a great part of the lawyer story in there. It's like, look at some of this great artwork. Like this right here, I love that shot of Daredevil. Really great artwork. And the story's, like I said, the story's great. I'm trying to jump. Let's see if we can go around towards the back. Oh, okay, so here is actually Matt's, like, wife. Can't remember if they're married yet or not, but they get married. See her with the glasses, of course. And... That is a great cover. So what happens is also, like the owl, whatever you call him, interesting character. Bullseye comes back into play. Oh, okay, so there you go. That's the last shot. So this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you guys. So we'll just start off like this. You got Bullseye. You got Elektra. I'm not sure who's at the bottom here. Anyway, it's pretty much like another, you know, another part of them going at it. Can't get it right. There we go. Some fighting between all of them. So this is what happens. Matt gets framed. We also get to see, I'll get to the end in a minute. We also get to see the night nurse, who is different from the Netflix show, obviously. But over here, Matt gets shot. He's pretty much dying. So they take him to the night nurse. And Elektra's here with him. Black Widow, I believe, shows up. Yeah, Widow shows up. And Malua, who's his wife, shows up. They bring her, and I think what happens is, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I read this. Okay, so pretty much like the police / SWAT team are coming in for Matt. They know where he's at. They're coming in, and Elektra and Black Widow decide, hey, we're gonna hold them off. We're gonna get Matt safe. And so Matt ends up getting arrested, right? So Matt's gonna do his thing. So the last shot that you're gonna see Matt goes to court. He's trying to, do his thing. He pretty much comes out and he's like, yeah, I am who I am. So Matt ends up in prison. And let me tell you guys something. The greatest... Okay, so the way how Brian ends his run with Matt going to prison, that's the last panel you see in here. Well, you do see, the officers talking, but the last part is he's in prison with most of the guys he locked up. And let me tell you something. Ed Brubaker takes over the reins of Daredevil. And I have Volume 1. I'm going to wait on holding off to review Volume 1 because I'm waiting to get Volume 2 a reprint so I can get that in and read that. But one of the best stories I've ever read is when Ed Brubaker takes over the run. And the transition is so beautiful. It's one of the better books. And one of the better Daredevil books. So over here, like, Bendis does a goodbye kind of review. And a lot of these omnibus, like I've said, most of them have, extras. They'll have interviews, they'll have one-shots, they'll have cover art, black and art, sketches showing you guys, like, what the original books look like. So here's some of the cover art. And the sketching for these books. And, I actually own some of these single issues. I'm actually glad to have them, even though I already read them. But yeah, guys, so this is my review of Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis. Sorry for the review style. I know I'm still, with omnibus, it's hard to film and hold them up, especially when I get to some of these books that are actually big and heavy. But knowing it's Volume 2, I highly recommend this book. This is actually a first print, and I picked up Volume 2 off of Amazon. I think it was $100. And this is when I first got into omnibus about a year and a half ago. I think this is out of print by now. Volume 1 was out of print too when I bought this. Luckily, I found a copy on eBay. I ended up paying a little bit over cover price, more than I wanted to, but it was my chance to get this series, and I was happy to get Volume 1. But I tell you what, like, the binding and everything on this is still great. These original omnibus, most of them are actually in better shape. And I tend to like omnibus that are smaller like this. When you're getting like over 1,500 pages, like the bottom back here, you got Superman. That thing is massive. I like to have omnibus that are a nice fit so I can sit back, enjoy, and read it and not, destroy the spine, trying to bend it all the way, or I'm trying to uncomfortably hold it and read it. But, yeah, so this is my review for Volume 2. Highly recommend you guys out and get this. They do take inspiration, obviously, from this into the MCU, into the Netflix show, and I'm sure the MCU version as well, which is going to be kind of a soft reboot, will also take inspiration from this. And great stories all around. And really love Brian's work on Daredevil. And like I said, the ending, eventually what's going to happen is I do a recap when I eventually do the Ed Brubaker's Daredevil run. That thing, I'm telling you guys, like the way how this ends with Matt going to prison and that picks up right where we left off, it's just... The first few issues are simply amazing. The Punisher ends up in there, and it's some of the best Daredevil work I've ever read. So that's it. That's my review. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button. And please, if you can, and if you like the content, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have read the run, or if you read the single issues, and what you think about this. And, yeah. Until next time, guys, stay safe, take care of each other, and as always, we will see you guys on the next episode of Josh's Comics.